Hello, KMS. Mrs. Hynes here, and welcome to Wednesday. So today our goal is to see if we can get your paper fractions, that inch cheat sheet that you made yesterday, and add it to your Google Drive. Hopefully you can play your ruler game that will also get added, and you're going to add some text. So if you need some help with this, please read the directions attached to the assignment or watch the video, and this will be linked up as soon as I can. So let's get into it now. If you could please open up in your Google Drive your technology portfolio. So this is the Google site that you created and it's living in your Google Drive. By now you should have shared that link with me. So hopefully you watched yesterday's video, and if you would like to add a GIF, remember you could change these images. You could actually upload an image or you can select an image. Please make sure that they're school appropriate. So yes, you are allowed to search things in here, but it does need to be related to the topic. I don't want to see like any random things in here. On the home page, any appropriate school appropriate picture is good. If you have to ask, is this appropriate? Pick a different photo. Um, and then we'll add more pictures to it, but some people like to add GIFs, GIF. So if you want to look at yesterday's video, I show you how to do that. If you go over to your Pages tab over here on the right-hand side, you should have clicked this button and added a page for measurement. Your measurement page may have nothing on it, so I'll just pretend that this isn't there, and you just have a blank page. That's fine. On today's directions, it says embed the ruler game link, and I give you the link. So again, if you copy this, if you have a mouse, you can highlight and right click. But a friend of ours showed me on the Chromebook, she always goes to those three dots up here and you can say copy. That's a really great trick. Thanks for teaching me that. All right, so if I go back to my page that I can edit and you double click where there's a blank space, you can embed a link. So you can paste it there. So again, on your Chromebook, you could say edit and paste, and that link will show up right there. It'll ask you if you want the entire page to show up or just a little thumbnail. We just want the thumbnail. So we'll say insert. If that takes a little bit, there might be a lot of people using this Flash game online, so it just might take a little while. You can move this on your screen as well. So if you want it centered, if you're that type of person, awesome. All right, now that I did that, I'll go back to my directions here. Add an image of your paper fractions cheat sheet. I did two things here. I gave you my image. So worst case scenario, you could use mine. I also gave you the directions. Hopefully you did these yesterday. That's where you're making yourself, basically you're showing that you understand fractions are just a way to show part of a whole number, okay? On a ruler, standard size ruler, we'll be using the standard side and the inches side. This paper would represent all of these little lines here. There are 16 lines in between the 0 and the 1 on the ruler. So if I counted 16 sixteenths would get me to 1. Therefore, hopefully you can start reading this. So if you look, say, the second line here, that would be, this is 0. So this is 1/16, 2/16. But you wouldn't say, hey, I need a 2/16 anything. People would probably laugh at you. So instead, this activity was hopefully showing you that 2/16 is the same as 1/8. So that's why we did this activity. So this is where I'm going to have you'll have to listen to the directions. On the bottom of your Chromebook, there's a triangle, like at the top of a triangle. It allows you to open up more apps. One of the apps on the Chromebook is the camera option. The camera option is facing you. Unfortunately, there's no back camera. So you're going to have to use the camera and take a picture of your paper fractions. When you take that picture, it saves to the downloads folder of your Chromebook. Okay, so this is saved to your downloads folder of your Chromebook after you take the picture. If you go on to, if you go on to your thing and you double click where there's nothing, come on. There you go. You can actually upload a photo or you can choose it from Drive. If it's on your downloads, you can go here and say upload, and then you're going to check in your downloads folder and it will be there. Okay. Mine, I put on my Google Drive. So if you know how to add files to Google Drive, I like to have everything kind of organized online as much as possible. So these are all my lovely photos. So I'll go down and find the photo I took here. Perfect. Okay, so you see how that inserted that? And then if you want to leave it on one side or the other, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. All right, now we're going to add a text box with the following text. Basically, folks, you need to know some basics about measurement. You can measure length, you can measure volume or how much something can hold. You can measure the weight of something, and you can measure the mass of something, how much space something takes up. There are two huge units of measurement, the English, which we'll be using in technology class, or the metric. This is used everywhere else. Every other country except for the United States pretty much uses the metric system. So you'll be in here learning the one that we use locally, so inches, feet, yards, and miles. And eventually, folks, we'll talk about some ways that you can actually calculate measurement without physically being there. And you can do that through math. So there are some formulas that I just wanted you to be aware of. So for today, if you want to take all of this information and again, copy it. So edit and copy. And then I can go to my site and I can add a text box. And Control V as in very good, or again, you can paste it here. Just go, whoa, took up a lot of room, right? So you may want to mess around with the sizes and all that so it formats nice and looks pretty nice. But this is a lot of information for one day. This would be excellent. So if you could, please hit that publish button. What that does is it has your old version and it shows you the new version if you wanted to look through. But I'm going to publish this. And now all of my changes are live. I don't really have to tell anybody, hey, I published my website, because if when they go back to visit my website, they're going to see the published version. After you're able to do this, if you could please go back onto Google Classroom and fill out the Google form that's under your classwork in today's assignments. Have a wonderful day. And I think, yep, so it'll be under classwork. Sorry, my computer is still slow. And we can add your Google form, which will be here for September 16th. All right, guys, great job. If you have questions, please email me. There's not going to be a whole class Google Meet, only for those of you that need help. So if you are able to publish those things on your portfolio and fill out the Google form, that's all you have to do for the day. And if you need help, please email me. Look forward to seeing your sites. All right, guys, good work.